Pacers get Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson from the Sacramento Kings, and the Kings receive Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, and a 2027 second round pick. Okay, I initially thought this was a decent trade or a relatively good trade for the Kings. 98% of people I have seen talk about this or even talk to about this grossly feel in the other direction. I think you being one of them. So, I mean, explain to me why people and you believe that the Kings got absolutely fleeced.
So the reason I think the biggest just like top level reason requires like just like making a prediction. Like this is something we can't know, but I feel like is true. I think Halliburton is going to be better than Fox. And what I will say is going back to the Portland combo of them taking too long to make the decision about splitting up the backcourt between Dame and CJ. I do applaud the Kings for making this decision early because it seemed clear that Fox and Halliburton were not meshing together. They've been going on a huge skid, and it just seemed like the like guard play was not just meshing well in Sacramento. So I think they did right to go ahead and just make a decision about who their guy was. I just think they made the wrong one. I think Tyrese Haliburton is going to be a better player than De'Aaron Fox, and the main reasons I prefer him is I think he's better in the pick and roll. He's like pretty much all of the Kings pick and roll offense. De'Aaron Fox doesn't do as much pick and roll. The Rashawn Holmes pick and roll stuff is pretty much exclusively done with Haliburton, and he can play on and off the ball just as effectively. And even though his shot looks weird, he is super efficient from everywhere. So I just think Haliburton has a higher upside, and I actually like kind of I really like what the Pacers did with this in that they decided they didn't have to blow their whole team up. They just needed to clear their log jam in their front court with Miles Turner and Sabonis, and now it seems like they've like committed to Miles Turner, and he's going to expand his game beyond just being a stretch five. But one thing I will say, sort of in the Kings' favor, is they got the best player in this trade right now, like without a doubt. Sabonis is by far the best
Two-time
player.
All-Star.
Yep, two-time All-Star, and in the conversation this year, probably going to continue to be in the conversation. So I think that I hate the trade a little bit less than I did initially. I ultimately think from like a future team building perspective, Tyrese is the best piece. But I do think that Kings fans have been starved and just like want to make the playoffs and see their team be competitive. So getting a really good all-star level player that pairs well with De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox scored 25 a game last year. If he gets back to that level, he could very well end up proving me wrong and being the better player. So I think they like have put themselves in a good position to try to make the play in or to be a low playoff seed this year and next year. But I don't know what it gets them beyond that. So I think that's why I like it more for the Pacers.
All right. So I've come around to a lot of the Pacers' points, particularly the fact that Tyrese Halliburton is like a really efficient three-point shooter. Like he shoots high volume, high percentage. And De'Aaron Fox, on the other hand, shoots low percentage. And so does Domantas Sabonis. And that makes the Kings team kind of clunky. Now, the Kings are also saying this isn't their only move. And I think a team where you try to surround Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox with shooters could actually work. I mean, it could actually work. I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know if it'll actually work, but it could work. I do think the Pacers are just like they said it from the beginning. They want to move Karis LeVert, Sabonis, or Miles Turner. And I feel like once Miles Turner broke his foot, it kind of like sapped up the not really value, but people's willingness to put it forward in the middle of the season. So like then it became Sabonis out the way instead. And now like they've cleared the pieces they say they want to clear. Like, do the Pacers really have any other contracts like that?
So TJ
Malcolm
Warren,
Brogdon is the only one, right?
yeah, I think TJ Warren is on like a pretty like relatively team friendly deal. And
He's
what
a
I
free agent
really
coming up this season.
upcoming, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it for them because like Miles Turner is out. Tyrese is going to come there and get acclimated to the team. But this year they'll probably end up getting a pretty high pick. And then like you have like a top 8, top 9 pick or something like that to pair with Tyrese, Duarte, Miles Turner, and then whatever draft pick that you pick early in the lottery. I feel like that's a really good kind of young core moving forward.
Okay, so giving out grades for this, I initially had like Sacramento at like a good B, and then I had Indiana at like a good B as well. But maybe I gave Sacramento a B plus. I It feels like people are flipping that and making this an A grade for Indiana. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, leave a subscribe so you don't miss any of our content.